Thank you, Sagrika, for taking us through the headlines. Viewers, you're watching Times Now. I am Meenakshi Upreti. Our top focus, believe it or not, viewers, is recliners. Yes, you heard it right. Recliners, which reportedly have been installed in a Karnataka assembly. There's a big row over these recliners. Now, what do we know at the moment? Legislators in Karnataka assembly are going to get recliners. These recliners are going to be provided for to these legislators reportedly for a quick nap. Yes. So basically, when there are a lot of allegations at a time of guarantees being delayed, a big debate happening on infrastructure in Bengaluru, we have an update coming in that Karnataka mantris are going to get, leaders are going to get recliners in the assembly. What are these recliners for, and what is this entire controversy about? These recliners reportedly are for a quick nap after lunch during the budget session. 15 recliners on rent. Recliners which were installed last year itself are going to continue. Deepak is joining us live on the broadcast. Deepak, give us a broader context into what this entire controversy is all about. I believe legislators in Karnataka are going to get recliners. What's the logic behind it? Was it implemented last year? If yes, then what's the furor or the update this year?
Well, there is no update as such this year. There were recliners that were installed during the monsoon session last year. The justification for the recliners was that there are very senior legislators from the Congress, BJP and the JDS as well who spend long hours in the Karnataka assembly, start off as early as 9, sometimes, will have to remain in the assembly till about midnight. And, having a recliner will allow them to get a bit of a rest rather than having to leave the assembly, go back, to their homes or to, anywhere that they're staying nearby. And that's the idea with which the recliners were brought to the Karnataka assembly. This time around, the speaker wants to put about 15 of them, and this will, of course, be for the benefit of the legislators from all parties. And more importantly here, this time they want to rent out these recliners because they do not want to spend money purchasing them. They say that it will be used during the time of the assembly, and then after the assembly it will of course be given back so that they could save some costs on the same.
You rightly said that the recliners, obviously once installed in the assembly, are going to be used by all legislators. But who had initially raised this request, Deepak, that the recliners to begin with are needed? Our netas basically need a quick nap. They get so tired during sessions that they need to rest. Where did this initial request come from? What's the genesis, of this entire story to begin with, first of all?
Well, it is the Karnataka speaker who proposed that this could come of use to any of the legislators who feel tired, and instead of actually having to go back, from the assembly,
So this is the Karnataka speaker who's also confirmed the same. Deepak, why don't you stay with us? We have Mr. S. Prakash of the BJP also with us. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on Times Now. What do you say, sir, about the latest development? Legislators in the Karnataka assembly to get recliners. Recliners which had been installed last year are going to continue. 15 recliners are going to be taken on rent.
I feel very ashamed that our legislators need recliners in their house just to attend the assembly session. The party which always claims to be the savior of the constitution, it is an constitutional obligation for the elected members to take part in the debate, house proceedings, and debate over the people-centric issues. And Mr. Kader, soon after he became the speaker, he's serving them food, breakfast, free breakfast. Now the recliners. I'm scared next step would be any massage also will be provided to these legislators. It is so disgusting.
Right, you're saying that, it's something which is not needed. It's an added burden on the exchequer. So all of this is coming at a time when there are a lot of question marks being raised over alleged delayed guarantees. There was a big debate just a few days ago, over improving Bengaluru infrastructure. And in the backdrop of all of this, when you have legislators saying that, we need recliners, we need loungers, we need a nap after lunch during the budget session, you think it's justified?
It is more than the financial burden. Their irresponsibility is being shown. Opposition members have not asked for any such facility. The ruling party members should set an example by taking part in the debate in large numbers.
Okay.
And providing them recliner, providing them free food, it speaks very low of their ability and their performance.
So, why don't you stay with us, because, there's another question which I wanted to ask you, because end of the day, if there is any sort of facility which is put out, it's going to be used by the legislators of either or any party. It's not just for the ruling party. What would your party say on it? Why don't you stay with us? Rahul Ishwar also on the phone line with us. First of all, good morning and thank you for joining us on Times Now, Rahul Ishwar. What will you say about the latest development? Legislators in Karnataka Assembly to get recliners.
To be honest, recliners are for moviegoers. Recliners are for relaxation when we see movies and for luxury. I doubt whether recliners are such a good move. They're doing serious business. A recliner always implies that you are in a over-comfortable position where it is luxury is implied. We usually see them in malls.
Absolutely, and you're right. Is it even needed? That's obviously the big question. Mohan Das Pai also joining us on the phone line. Sir, what will you say about, the latest development coming in from Karnataka? Legislators to get recliner, they say the need for these recliners, they say we need a quick nap, we need some rest after lunch hours during, sessions in the Karnataka Assembly. Do you agree with this at all to begin with, sir?
No, I don't agree at this point of time, because I think it's very frivolous. Karnataka is facing a financial crisis.
Yeah.
There is no money for development, no money for infrastructure in Bangalore. There is no governance. Corruption has increased. It is a crisis. At the moment of crisis, these people have become so frivolous. They're looking at recliners because they want to have individual comfort, instead of discussing in the legislature what needs to be done to improve the state. Corruption has seeped in deeply in Karnataka, and I think they're very busy doing things they shouldn't be doing. And it's a tragedy that in a very rich state like Karnataka today, the debate is not about governing the state better, the bad state of infrastructure all over, increasing corruption. The debate is becoming about getting recliners for themselves to sleep in between assembly sessions. I think it's a terrible state of affairs and a failure of the state legislature to govern the state.
Right, and you rightly said, sir, this demand, also this confirmation rather latest coming in from the speaker that 15 recliners are going to be taken on rent. All of this is coming in the backdrop really of delayed guarantees. Again, as I was saying earlier, there's a big debate on, Bangalore's infrastructure. DK Shivkumar a few days ago said even God can't fix Bangalore's infrastructure in a few years. And in the backdrop of this, when you have netas who seem to be prioritizing their personal comfort over governance issues, how disturbing do you think it is to begin with?
Very disturbing is admission of the failure of the legislature, failure of the state government. The state government seems to want to go to sleep. They think that by sleeping and not discussing many things, not sorting it out, things will go away. Things will not go away, they'll only get worse. The people of Karnataka are very angry and upset. They've not seen any growth and development in the last 2 years. Freebies suck the state dry. They want good growth so they get job for their children. They don't want 5 kg rice. Our Chief Minister seems to believe that social justice means everybody gets 5 kg rice. Then he himself admitted that 80% of people in Karnataka have got ration cards.
Right.
80% in the richest state in the country is ridiculous. Instead of rectifying all that, they're all busy doing frivolous things.
But what message does it give, sir? You've mentioned all the issues which according to you the state is facing. What message, what larger message does it give, sir? End of the day, doesn't it look like that for our legislators, the priority seems to be their post-lunch nap, the priority seems to be their personal comfort, but not really the real issues which the people of the state are facing, sir?
I agree with you. They're showing very clearly a very selfish attitude of saying their comfort, their well-being is more important than the well-being of the people who elected them to power. That's their attitude. It's a very feudal attitude which says, once I come to power, I am the Raja. I can do what I want, and I'm in business. So many of them are doing business, and I think it's a tragedy. You're seeing the tragedy unfold in a great state like Karnataka.
All right, sir, stay with us. We also have Rahul Ishwar who joined us on the phone line. Rahul Ishwar, would you concur with Mohan Das Pai? End of the day, the demand seems to be rather frivolous, and that also emphasizes and exposes really what the priorities of our legislators are.
Absolutely. I agree with 101%. I don't think any word be added to it, because the common people is suffering and people are looking for their own relaxation and luxury. This is absolutely wrong. I hope after this outrage, our Karnataka...
Right, point taken, sir. Rahul Ishwar, Mohan Das Pai, thank you for joining us. My colleague Deepak is also live with us. I believe he has a Congress leader with him. Deepak, over to you.
Well, yes, I have senior Congress leader and MLA, Mr. Rizwan Arshad, here with me. So, some questions are being raised whether a recliner is actually required within the Karnataka Assembly for legislators to take rest, and whether such facilities are also given to other private employees who go to do their duty. What do you make of it? Because this has been, of course, there in the last time when the monsoon session happened. The Karnataka speaker decided to bring it up. Now he plans to rent out about 15. Some of them in the BJP are raising objections. Some of the activists as well are saying this is probably unnecessary.
See, no, I don't understand why this decision is being made. It is the speaker might have felt it necessary because few of the aged legislators might have requested him. I don't know what is about, but it's not a very big issue. If you have 8-10 recliners on rent, doesn't make a big difference. Right? So we have enough serious issues to be discussed. So I don't think so this issue needs any discussion at all.
Okay, that's the word from the Congress MLA here. Not a big issue, and he says that probably the request has come from some senior legislators who probably need some rest, and instead of them having to go back to their residences, come back, which would waste a little bit of time, it would be saved if they actually get a little bit of a rest within the assembly premises itself.
Right, but Deepak, could you first of all, just a counter question, if you could just take that question to the Congress leader with you. Understood, okay, if these are elderly leaders who perhaps may be having, some issues with long sessions. To begin with, we don't even know who exactly these legislators were, if they were elderly or not. End of the day, extra recliners, these, loungers for a quick nap after lunch hours, all of this coming at a time when there are so many governance issues, guarantees delayed, many other issues on which the BJP also has been cornering and targeting the Karnataka Sarkara. At this time, even if it's just for optics, is it fair or is it okay to get 15 to 20 recliners on rent? What does the Congress have to say about it?
Some of the questions that's being asked is, at this time, do you feel that focus should be on governance rather than rest?
Of course, the purpose of the assembly itself is to discuss about the issues of the people, issues in the government, and how is it functioning, and the assembly is called for that, and that should be the focus of the issue. There are recliners in airports, there are recliners in railway stations, there are recliners in bus stands. So that is not a very big issue if some 8-10 recliners are taken on rent. So the focus should be on the real issues. That is what I mean. This issue is not an issue which has brought in huge expenditure to the government or a very big controversy. There are people who are aged, they are MLAs. If they might have requested a speaker, per se even one legislator who is aged might have requested. So the speaker might have taken a decision. So that's not a very big, that's not reflecting on anything big on the expenditure side. Right. So I don't feel it to be discussed in this magnitude.
Okay.
Well, that's the statement from here. Back to you in the studio.
All right. So far as the Congress is concerned, they say it's not a big deal, just a few recliners. What's there to create such a big fuss about? We did hear, obviously, activists, prominent citizens, and even the BJP who are cornering and attacking the Sarkara, the Karnataka government, questioning what exactly the priorities of the state government are. Looks like this war of words is only likely to continue and escalate. We'll keep an eye on the big story. As of now, slipping into a short commercial break.